Welcome to Dimensions Paintbrush. Today we're going to talk a little bit about being an expert at painting. What does that mean? But first off, let's start off with some hobby progress for me. Now, I've finished the Christian War Shrine from last time, and I went back into painting my knight. And I really suggest that if you're going to paint a large project, if you're going to paint something for the long haul, that you have a backup to cleanse your palette, so to speak. I know with the knight that I'm painting, I invested many hours in, but after a while, I kind of get tired of looking at a huge knight. And let me know what you think about big projects for you. Do you get tired of a project? Do you move on to a secondary project and then come back to the main project? I know I do personally. And no more, I mean, it's healthy, but usually no more than 2 projects at a time. Now, usually I start a box and finish the box, but again, I don't want to get tired and burnt out. Usually I have a release. Like if I'm painting a miniature, I usually take a piece of terrain and start working on terrain, and that really helps me really cleanse my palette and get back into the miniature that I was painting. But after a while, looking at the same things so long, I mean, I noticed when I went to college, when I looked at my own papers to submit in, and I've looked at it so long that I no longer see the mistakes because I just want it done. So I guess when I give it to somebody else and they say, oh, well, this is, my opinion about it. This is how I think you can improve it. And then with that feedback, you improve. And just saying that, it's the same thing with painting. When you're painting and you want to get better, it's the next echelon. Either you can paint, and there's sometimes that I'm that way. I paint and I just want to be done with a model. Like I wasn't enjoying the model, but I kind of started something because I kind of want to finish it. And I kind of just want to get it over and done with and then continue painting. It's sort of like when I did my Corn Warband for Warhammer Underworlds. I'm not particularly a fan of Khorne as a faction in and itself, so I had it in the starter box and I really wanted to get it done. I used it as an opportunity to check out skin tones, but at the same time, I didn't really, I didn't want to paint it, so I kind of just got it over with and done. I was happy with it, so to speak, and then moved on to the next project. And that occurs when I don't enjoy a project. And with this project, with the night build, I'm enjoying the process, but at the same time, I get tired of looking at the same thing over and over again. So I kind of need like a palette cleanser. One thing that I wanted to do with the Christian Warshine, though, this was kind of purposeful. Is that I wanted to get practice painting wires. I wanted to get practice of, really getting into hard to reach areas when it comes to painting wires and everything like that. That's why in the Christian War Shrine, with only all Sector Mechanicus kind of terrain. If you look at the gangplanks itself, if you look inside them, there's wires and everything else, and it's quite difficult to get into and just get it just so it looks like you painted most of the wires that are in there. Now, some of the wires I left blank, but I like picked out 1 or 2 wires and I kind of followed it along the grid pattern this way to bring it out. And in doing that, I transferred that ability into what I'm working with my knight, which is the next step, which is my hobby progress for this week. Okay, so here it is. Here is my Night Titan. Hello. Has feet, so that's good. They're not weathered yet, but they will be. And then what I did was, I don't know if you can notice that the red wires are done down here, and actually 4 different colors of red posted into there. I don't know if you can see it now with the light on it. And this is weird because my actually painting booth has a ridge right there, and it's kind of like, light, dark. I don't know, sort of. I don't know. I guess you can see it if I get closer. All right, just bringing it in closer. Also, I did on this side. I did some details back there. And in the back, you can really see where I did the Sector Mechanicus stuff. And 4 different colors of white and gray to get into that Sector Mechanicus stuff. And then some, I did some Agrax Earthshade on the bottom there. Just glaze it in just to get that white. Not stark white, but actually a dirty kind of white with a transition. So this is my hobby progress for this week, which is pretty cool. Actually, I'm coming in with a lot of things and ideas. Now, I did for the shin pieces here. I'm working with Decals or Decals. I've always grown up with Decals, the way you say it, but some people say Decals. Uh, So I'm working with decals, and I do have to paint them. There's a sheen to them, and even though I use AK Interactive Matte Varnish, which is some of the best ultra matte right there, I really like this product. But at the same time, I put them on the decals after I use some decal fix from Vallejo as well. I'm trying to look for it on my table, but I don't even actually see it. I know it's there somewhere, but I'm not going to scrounge around with it. But I put a combination of those, like one let it dry and put the other one let it dry, but there's still like a sheen to it. And even with the matte varnish and everything else, I think I'm going to go over it yet again with another coat of matte varnish, but this time I'm going to go through it with an airbrush to see if I can get that sheen off of it. Now what I'm doing is the Aquila on one side, but I also want to do some freehand on the other components. See, my idea is that every part or most of the parts of this night is going to be free-handed. So, and that's quite a task for me to take on, but I do have some time. It's spring now, and I have the summer in order to get that done for the Nova Open, and hopefully I get done in time. I think I might. I don't know. I just have to be happy with it. And for me, it has to be good enough for me to put on a tabletop and represent my army. And that's my level of either insanity or me pushing myself to that level, which I really, really enjoy pushing myself to a level. It's not for everybody. Well, most people are army painters and they don't want to push themselves to that level. Okay, so I want to kind of get into, well, the news. We got some Fire Slayers that are coming out. They have that neat terrain. I love the terrain that's coming with all these kits that are coming out, all these releases and battle tomes. They're coming with piece of terrain, which I can use as scatter terrain. Like I don't care. And, I'll just use it if it looks aesthetically well. I'll just use it. Yeah, so I'll just incorporate. I can actually incorporate it into the scenery. Like I could put like a shrine inside a mountain or something like that, kind of make it look cool like that. But there's a lot of stuff like that. But terrain for Age of Sigmar is sparse, especially scatter terrain. So it's really cool that they're coming out with the terrain. And Fire Slayers are kind of cool. I only saw one model that's going to be released with that. Makes me feel like what they did for the Space Wolves. Like, yeah, I got Harold Icepelt, but that's pretty much all the new models that I kind of gotten with that. But hey, I can use all the other Space Marine that are equipped. I think all factions can use all the Space Marines as far as the Adeptus Astartes. I'm not sure. Comment down below if you know if every single Adeptus Astartes chapter can use every single Space Marine, I guess, iteration that it is. Like if you click on Ultramarines and get all that, you can use any of that stuff. I think that's the case. Which seems kind of vanilla for me. Anyway, let me see what else from the news that really poked out. Chaos is getting new models, which is pretty cool. I like the Chaos Love. I do have Chaos models here ever since I bought Shadow Spear, but I have Nurgle. I have Death Guard, so I don't know if I'm going to actually paint up those Chaos guys and convert them into Death Guard or something of that effect. I'm not sure, but I do have Tom, my buddy, who actually wants to use his Chaos. He might want that other side, so I'm going to kind of like hold that off for him and leave it until I finish all my Death Guard, which might be in several years because knowing how I paint. Okay, that's all the news that actually intrigued me today. I do want to say that I am selling these Pokemons here as Machamp, Machoke, and Machop, which is all three, and they're originals. Hit me up if you're interested in those. I really, they're non-graded, but I've had them for 20 years more, and I've had them and in an environment where there was no humidity or anything like that. It's regulated. I keep them with my comic books and fireproof safe kind of thing. So if you're interested, hit me up. as well, especially if you're local. I mean, I love to give this by hand, not really by mail so much, but there you go. There's that. I wanted to throw that out there because I am getting close to having enough money for my epic computer that I really want to get. I'll probably get a server. I don't know. I was on the channel Frost and Fist. If you haven't checked them out, please go over to that channel and give them a subscription. And I did a show with them over Friday. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of laughs there, and we enjoyed ourselves. So check that out and hook brothers up and give them a sub if you like them. You know. Anywho. So getting to the main topic. The main topic here is, being called an expert. I was on Facebook and someone called me an expert. I was on the Frost and Fist and they kind of called me an expert. And this is how I look at it. When I started painting miniatures, I was absolutely atrocious. But I thought my miniatures were cool. So was I atrocious? Not at the time. I'll say that again. At the time when I started painting, I was happy with my models. Was I atrocious? No. But if I look back from now till then, and I compare my work now to my work back then in that context, it's atrocious. That shows me where I became, a better miniature painter. But that make me an expert? No. Richard Gray, which I look up to, with that Morcharian. That is an expert, in my opinion. But who knows if even he thinks he's an expert. The thing is that if you are a creative type, if you are an artist, you are always going to criticize your work so hard that, you're going to belittle yourself when it comes to your work. Unless you have really great ego. I don't know. I know every artist that I've seen, they're constantly nitpicking at the work. I could have done this better. I could have done that better. We never reach that level of perfection. So, as far as being an expert, do I think I'm an expert? Absolutely not. But I'm at a stage and I keep pushing on to the next stage. You're pushing on to the next stage as well. Should you compare yourself to a painter that is, you feel that is better than you? Not necessarily, but you can learn from that person, and grow as a painter. So as far as labels like expert, I don't think I'm an expert. I just enjoy the hobby and I like sharing it with others. Do you enjoy the hobby and like sharing it with others? Because that'll make you just as expert as I am. Okay, so I just really wanted to address that issue really, really quickly. Okay, there's that. I'd love to see the comments down below. I love the conversations that we have. I know this is the vlog format and not, the tutorial style format. But again, that computer is coming and the drive has been amazing to get that computer into my hands so I can edit some videos, right? So just determining what's the best option for me. T-shirts. I do want to say that the order went out. They told me that it takes 7 to 10 days in order. That's business days. 7 to 10 business days to get the order fulfilled. I was told I was going to get the email the second the order is fulfilled, which it should be super soon. I'm going to contact them again tomorrow and see where we are in the process, but it should be going out. I'm really hopeful that it'll start going out this weekend. So I'm super excited about that. I'll let you know the second they're in my hands, or I'll let you know when they're in my hands by the next show. If I'm shipped out to you, you probably get it before then, which I would think before the next show would be optimal for you, because I really want you guys to enjoy the TMP shirts. I'm honored that you supported the channel, and I want to get those to you. Thank you all, seriously, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Really getting close to that new computer. Yeah, we're on the home stretch. Well, in any case, I'm happy that you shared this time with me. And if you like this video, like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time on the Miniatures Paintbrush.